So in this video, I'm going to be talking about calisthenics and weightlifting, which is better and what are the pros and cons of each one. I'm going to be going through different topics to discuss which one is better or which one is the winner between the two, so you guys can decide which one is going to be the best for you. At the end of the video, I'm going to give my clear winner and what I think is the best way to utilize calisthenics and weightlifting. So let's jump straight into the video. So the first point, we're going to be talking about cost, and this is something that's going to be a clear winner for calisthenics, because calisthenics, you technically don't need any gym and you don't need any equipment. If you have access to a kid's playground, this is somewhere where you can work the entirety of your body and it doesn't cost you a penny. If you are going to have some equipment, I do recommend a door frame pull-up bar and maybe even possibly a set of gymnastic rings, but the equipment requirement is very minimal, and those bits of equipment tend to be very inexpensive. When if you look at weightlifting, it's down to two options. It's either joining a gym, and they can vary in price, but it's an outlay that you're going to have to pay, or if you have the home gym, you have to outlay to a lot of equipment. A bare minimum, I would say, is a barbell with some weights and possibly a power rack. However, those things aren't cheap, plus you need to have the space for them. So if you're someone that doesn't have a lot of money, calisthenics is a clear winner. So next point we're going to be looking at is progressive overload. Progressive overload is a way of allowing us to get bigger and to get stronger. Some of the key ways in which we do that is by increasing volume, so sets or reps, or increasing intensity or the weight. When it comes to calisthenics and weightlifting, they kind of have different ways of creating progressive overload. If we have a look at calisthenics first, we can either manipulate leverages within our body, so we can make our muscles have to work harder to complete the same movement. An example of this would be the front lever. If you have it further, your legs out extended, it's going to be harder. If you bring your legs in closer, it's going to make easier. Playing around with moment arm. The other way is going to be moving to unilateral work. So it's obviously going to be easier to do a pull-up with two arms than one arm. So transitioning to one arm work is obviously going to be a way of creating progressive overload and making those muscles have to work harder. The final way is going to be using a weighted vest, and this is very similar in the form of weightlifting, where we're just going to be increasing weight or the intensity to elicit us to create that form of progressive overload. If we have a look at weightlifting, the main way in which we're going to be doing it is by adding weight. Of course, you can increase volume like calisthenics. However, the main way of doing it, and the simplest way, is just by increasing weight. The great thing about weightlifting is we have lots of different ways we can make those increments from really small plates all the way up to bigger plates. So there's a lot of variety there. If we have a look at progressive overload, which one is going to be simpler, which one is the easiest to track and to manage and to recreate consistently over and over again, progressive overload is far easier when it comes to weightlifting. So I would say a clear winner is weightlifting. So the third point we're going to be looking at is exercise selection. Muscle group training, compound and isolation. Which one is going to give us more options to exercises? Which one's going to be easiest to work in compound exercises to isolation? If we want to focus on a particular muscle or muscle group, which one is going to be better? Well, both calisthenics and weightlifting have great exercises that allow us to get bigger and stronger. There's a lot of compound exercises that, in my opinion, when it comes to calisthenics, are some of the best exercises you can do, and there's going to be plenty when it comes to weightlifting. However, if you want to focus on a particular muscle group, far easier to do that with weightlifting than when it comes to calisthenics. You're a little bit limited in working on certain muscle groups because you are using your body as a resistance. The other issue that comes in there is it's far easier if you want to work a particular muscle to use a certain intensity when you're using weightlifting. When you're doing calisthenics, you have to manipulate your body to actually control how much of your weight you're actually lifting, and in some cases it can be too much. The increments you're making are too big in jumps for certain exercises. When it comes to, say, hitting isolation work or focusing on certain muscle groups, far easier to do that with weightlifting. So the fourth point I want to talk about is leg training. Both calisthenics and weightlifting have the capability of building strong athletic legs. The calisthenics exercises have the pistol squat, the shrimp squat, different lunges, step ups. There's some really great exercises. However, if you really want to reach your full potential when it comes to your leg training, your body weight isn't going to cut it. Even if you go to single leg work, your body's capability, your leg's capability of size and strength far exceeds what you can with your body weight. We have a look at the weightlifting exercises, stuff like the barbell back squat, the front squat, the deadlift. Even if you get into some of the machines when it comes into the leg press and the hack squat, the capabilities that we have with these exercises is going to match more what our legs are capable of. The amount of weights that we can push is going to place a higher load onto our legs. So if you're really focused on trying to maximize the size of your legs and the strength of your legs, weightlifting is going to be a clear winner. However, if you're really into calisthenics and you want to progress far with your calisthenics, actually having bigger legs can be a detriment, because it's going to make stuff like the muscle up, the front knees, mainly all of the skill exercises, because a lot of the skills, upper body focus, a lot of those exercises or just a number of pull-ups you can do are going to be made harder if you have bigger, heavier legs. So depending on what you want to focus on, it can be a pro and a con. If you're focused on calisthenics and your skills, then you don't need to worry about having bigger legs. If you're really focused on getting the biggest and the strongest legs possible, weightlifting is a clear winner. The next point I'm going to talk about is flexibility and lifestyle. Which one of these forms of exercise is going to fit into your lifestyle more easily? Calisthenics is fantastic because you can basically do calisthenics anywhere, anytime. If you want to drop down now and start doing some push-ups, some sit-ups, some bodyweight squats. If you're in a park and you want to jump up and start doing some pull-ups, you can. If you have a door frame pull-up bar, which is very, very cheap and affordable and somewhere that you can have in your home, if you're going in and under, you can do stuff like grease the groove, but you can jump up, do pull-ups, do push-ups, do squats, and you can work the entirety of your body anytime, anywhere. Very, very flexible, and it really does fit into your lifestyle so easily. The Duodynamic Allevia door frame pull-up bars, these are sort of some portable door frame pull-up bars that you can take. So if you go traveling, it's very, very easy to get a good workout with these. They also have a set of gymnastic rings as well that are going to be coming in the future. It's going to allow you to work even more muscles and make certain exercises more challenging. So calisthenics is very, very flexible, and it's going to fit into people's lifestyle far, far easier. When it comes to weightlifting, you're kind of fixated on either going to a gym, which means you have to go somewhere else. It means you have to share equipment, which can delay what you're doing. It can impact on your training. It means that you have to travel to and fro, so that can impact on your thing. The only way you can get around that is by actually having a home gym. But again, the cost of it and actually having the space for it, far, far harder to fit into your lifestyle, and the flexibility of it is going to be far easier with calisthenics. So that one is a clear winner. So which is better, calisthenics or weightlifting? Which one has more pros and cons? Which one is best for you? Well, my personal opinion on this is don't be dogmatic. There are many pros and cons for calisthenics, and there's many pros and cons for weightlifting. But if you want to get the most out of your training, if you want to be able to reach your full potential when it comes to your strength training, your flexibility, mobility, muscle gaining, then you're going to be in the best position by incorporating both. Don't be dogmatic and say calisthenics only if you have access to other things. Don't be just weightlifting only if you can experiment and try calisthenics exercises. Be open to trying both methodologies of it, but learn about both so you can maximize your potential. I am doing both. I'm going to be doing a calisthenics and weightlifting program, and I am doing it now. I will be leaving a link to that here if you want to check out that video so you can see which program I'm doing. But if you want to get the best of both worlds, which one is better? It doesn't really matter. Find which one is best for you, but incorporating both is going to give you the best of both worlds, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a like if you did, and I'll see you guys in the next video.